Is that right, 500,000? So if my calculations, according to what you just said, we'll have about 840,000 in year one if $70,000 a month comes, which is putting us ahead of projections.
Well, when you get to, by the time you get to around September, with about $70,000, comes to about 480,
Okay.
490,000.
That's just projections.
Yeah,
And then,
but now if you go past, yeah, that's just
Okay.
projection. Now, once you get past that, we move into another year.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so there will be probably right shy of $500,000 between now and September, because that's our calendar year, and then,
Right.
Good.
Yeah, if we see anything that's concerning that's going to bring us in less than what we
Yeah.
expected, we will be having a different conversation,
Great.
but we don't anticipate that.
Good. That's a good trajectory. Yeah, all right, awesome.
Any other questions?
Yes. And so I have a question about the bill we just approved. Since we are kind of under the same umbrella as MEDC and City Council, and it generally takes, what, 2 signatures for each check, right? And so when we pay a bill from the board, does somebody from this board have to sign the check for this bill? Because not all of us, I think, are on the bank signature.
Right. So the way that we have gotten the guidance from our auditors as to how to establish the expenditure of funds for CCPD is it can be handled the same way that we're doing with the MEDC. There are funds that the MEDC has sitting aside that are invested. Y'all will get there at some point too, I'm excited. But as far as your structure is a component unit of the city. And you approving that expense this evening is what gives the authorization for that check that gets cut from the city's pooled account, but is recorded in our system in your fund. Okay, so CCPD will be set up as its own fund. It will work essentially the same way that the EDC does. You'll have a fund number, and so that your approval tonight is what gave us the okay to spend that money.
Right.
That money will be signed by a check signer that's on the overall checking account for the city. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be somebody from.
Right, so the people who are on this board, the 3 of you that are council members, you are check signers, but those accounts are held by the city, not by the individual boards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know MEDC did it, really.
Yeah. Good question.
That was a good question, Stan.
Yep, and you will be getting a financial report. Once we start getting that information in, you will get a finance report. If you want to have kind of a preview of what that looks like, if you look out at the agendas that are posted, like for EDC, you'll see what their finance report looks like. Yours will be very similar in nature. We get stuff right out of our system, and that's what we go with.
I like it.
Anybody have anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, items number 7 and 8 are related to Open Meetings Act training and Public Information Act training. My understanding is these videos that we need to watch take about an hour apiece. I also understand that several of us have already done this training, and this is an option to potentially do this at home as homework. When was the last date that you would like to have this done? Because we have certificates we'll have to print out if we do this as homework and bring them up here. So when is our last final date that you'd like to have these up there, if we choose to go that route?
Law is that it has to be 90 days from the date that you take your seat. So I think we're already 60 days or 30 days in at this point.
So Thursday?
That'd be great.
Yeah, I like it.
So Thursday at 5.
Will everybody have a chance to get it by Thursday?
Can you tell us who needs it? Because I think I've taken training, but I have no idea.
No.
You said some of us have and some of us have not.
Yeah, so the Open Meetings Act training and the Public Information Act training, I would imagine everybody on council should have had this also, correct?
In theory, yes, I have not audited that board yet, but that is coming up next. I have just located the
Are they
files.
good forever, or they good only for
A year or something.
a year or so?
I understand
remember.
that there's no expiration date on them, however, it doesn't hurt to do them again because they do change the training and update it with whatever current regulation has changed. So if you have one that's 5 years old, a certificate that's 5 years old, I would recommend possibly doing an updated training.
So basically, everybody needs to take it. That's what I just heard. And I mean, that's fine.
And we'll give you more time.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be this Thursday. I would suggest 2 weeks from today if possible. That way you have time to work on both of them. I did print out a Public Information Act training. There's one for Public Information Act, and I'll hand you this one. You also have the one for the Texas Open Meetings Act. If you do the training, you can fill this paperwork out and bring it to me, and I can submit for your certificate and make sure that I get the certificate, if you would like to do that. Or you can complete it and email the certificate to me.
Great. And will you do us a favor and send us a link in an email so that we,
I can do that, but it's also attached to the cover sheet on each one of these
Okay.
on the agenda, and it's an
Okay.
active link to click on.
okay,
Because I wasn't sure if someone wasn't going to be present or
Sure.
wanted to be able to follow along with the, citizens
just want to
following.
make sure I take the right course, because nothing's worse than sitting there for an hour and being the wrong course.
I agree. Yes, they're broke down by the agenda
I
sheet.
didn't take it.
Oh, you never have?
Well, I took it when I was on the council before, but
Okay, so how do we want to proceed, folks? Do we want to?
I think everybody should take it to just get level set and then move forward. I'd like to make a motion that everybody take both courses and send their certificate to Ruby 2 weeks from today.
Okay, so do we need to make a motion to table items 7 and 8?
That's why I said 2 weeks from today.
Yes. 2 weeks.
I wouldn't say table, I would say assign
I'd like to,
homework.
yeah,
Homework.
okay. I'd like to make a motion to assign homework for items number 7 and number 8 on our agenda and have that homework due to the city secretary by February 10th, which is a Monday, 5 p.m.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I second.
A motion by Ms. Countryman and a second by Ms. Langley. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes. And we are done. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn,
Second.
and I have a second by Stan. I'll imagine we need to discuss that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries and we stand adjourned.